Once we found out that guinea fowl could eat up to 1,000 ticks per day, we were sold. Honestly, I was sold. Our dogs were coming into the house with 2 to 10 ticks on them per day. There was ticks on our walls, crawling up our arms. They were just everywhere, and I think as it starts to get warmer and warmer and have more mild winters, we're seeing that there's just a lot more ticks, as well as once you add chickens to your backyard, you just start getting a lot more bugs. So that was the #1 reason we decided to add guinea fowl to our homestead. Although with adding guinea fowl to our homestead, there's a lot of pros and cons that have come along with adding them. And today I'm going to break down both all the positives that we have of these beautiful guys in our backyard, as well as some of the negatives that you should be watching out for if you're deciding to get guinea fowl and adding them to your backyard homestead. I'm Danielle of the Split Arrow Farm, and welcome to our channel where we bring you new content every week about how we're starting our homestead so that you can learn to start your own and start living a more self-sustainable lifestyle. We ended up getting guinea fowls for a couple of different reasons, and after raising these guinea fowls thus far, we've developed a few more positives that I think make them a really great addition to any homestead. And today we're going to go over the 7 pros of raising guinea fowls. And the first one, and the #1 reason why we actually decided to get them for our homestead, was that they are known to eradicate insects and pests. They actually are going to eat up to 1,000 ticks per day per guinea fowl, which is quite a bit. And that's really the reason we got them, because we just had a lot of ticks with the mild winter that we had recently, and then the warmer time just coming in, there was just so many ticks. And although we were putting medicine on our dogs and we were checking ourselves, we just wanted to make sure that we weren't getting anything that could be carrying any types of diseases that we could get. So by getting guinea fowl, we thought this would really cut down on some of that. Another thing that's really great is not only will they remove ticks, but they will remove other types of bugs. So they're really great at just eliminating anything that's squirrely, wormy, anything like that. They can also be known to eat snakes or small types of rodents like mice or small rats, and help really eradicate any of those types of smaller pests. Now, we haven't really learned too much about that or seen that yet, but I can definitely tell from just watching them free range that they love pecking on the floor and eating a lot of those bugs. So it's already been pretty much a win in our books, but we'll continue to see how it goes. What's also really great about them is, unlike chickens, when they go into your garden to eradicate pests, they're not going to actually eat the garden, because guinea fowl usually won't eat garden items. They're most likely going to be eating weeds or things that you don't want. So hopefully they can help go into your garden and help with getting rid of some of those bugs that might be eating at your plants. We haven't actually tested this out yet because we are still in the training process for our guineas, but I'd hope to get them in there and test that out as well and see how that theory runs true or false. The third pro for guinea fowl is they actually are a great source of eggs and meat. So they're usually going to range from anywhere from around 4 to 5 pounds for a guinea fowl. So we like to think of them as a plump chicken. They're kind of just a rounder version of a chicken, and they're going to be a great meat source. They're supposedly very similar to what you would get when you were to eat a pheasant, but obviously a lot larger. And some people, because they aren't great in the cold, will actually cull their herd at the end of the summer and eat their meat. I think we're going to try to let them live throughout the winter. We have a really great deep litter system within our coop, and we do provide heat and lighting in there, so I think that should keep them a lot warmer, and hopefully it works, but we'll keep you posted. And they also will lay eggs. So they aren't going to lay a super large amount of eggs. They usually lay around 60 eggs per year per bird, although I've heard that they lay them all the way around. They aren't usually going to do it in a nesting box, so we haven't gotten any eggs yet. I can't really talk to them because of that, but I know that they could be laying them soon, and we'll just kind of have to Easter egg find them along the property. Another great aspect of guinea fowl is they're really low maintenance and easy to keep. Because they do love eating bugs and little tiny pests, they aren't going to require that much food. We did actually start them on a game bird food when we were raising them alone, but we've since then combined them with our chickens in our chicken coop, and now we're feeding them both just the same type of feed because it'd be really hard to kind of mix that up. And during the day they will free range, so they are able to eat everything around. So that really helps with eliminating a lot of their needs. And then because we have them with our chickens, we're kind of just treating them like chickens. So we have free water for them that they can have at any time, a bunch of different perches in our coops, and we have like higher ones up, so they really love to be high up and perching. So that's going to be something that you can make sure you have set up in your coop as well. And I think would be a great addition to have maybe 2 or 3 added to your chicken flock, so it isn't too much of a variation and you can kind of keep things the way you are. Our next one is going to be that they are loyal and protective. While I've been talking today, you probably heard some of them in the background, and if I hear it again, I'll point it out, but they do make a loud sound as a warning when they see any type of predator approaching them. So it's really great. It creates a great security system because if there's a fox about to trot in, they will alarm, and they're very loyal with each other. They love to walk in little bit packs, so I'll put some b-roll of them walking in a pack right now, but this is how they kind of roam. They love being with each other, they protect and look out for one another, and they're really great at that. They also, which is adorable, will mate for life, so they'll find that one mate for life, and they'll create a little family. They'll raise their that was one of their sounds. They'll raise their children together, and they'll also help foster their growth, make sure that they know where home is, they know where to go, and because they will perch high, they'll probably perch up in trees, look down, look over the land, and be able to protect it from everyone. Now, my last pro is that they have a long lifespan. They can live up to 15 years in great healthy conditions. The hardest part is probably going to be raising them from a keet. So when they are smaller, we have lost a few because they love to roam. But as long as you can keep them in a safe space, have a spot for them to sleep at night, and they don't have too stressful of a life, then they will long live out, and they'll be able to raise a bunch of their own baby keets, baby guinea fowl, and they're going to be able to provide for you, whether that be eggs or just helping clean and maintain your property, as well as help watch over it. So those are some of the pros of keeping guinea fowl. Raising guinea fowl is not an easy feat. They say that the Romans tried to domesticate guinea fowl dating back to thousands of years, whereas chickens they've been trying to domesticate for far less and have had quite great success. As I'm sure a lot of you know, it's pretty easy to keep chickens in your backyard. But guinea fowl are quite the opposite. They love to roam, and if given the ability, they will roam hundreds of acres. They will go from your orchards to where your cows are to anywhere that they are allowed to go, they will go. So this is a really big deterrent for people that are thinking about getting guinea fowl because they're really hard to contain. Even here at our homestead, we actually got 20 guinea fowl because we knew that we wanted to get a large amount of them, and you definitely want to get some that can live together. You don't want to just get one. So maybe you're going to get 2 or 3. Now we knew that whenever getting any animal shipped to you, there's always a possibility that some of them could perish along the way, so we got a larger amount. But a significant amount of them actually got out of our coop. And the reason of this is because we had them in an old barn stall. We boarded up all of the sides, but we didn't think to board the top barrier of the coop so that we could let air in and out of the home for them. And they actually got up and out and scurried far, far away, and we lost quite a few of them that way. Now, this is just one example of how they can kind of run away, and a tip to make sure that they don't do this is it's actually a really good practice to the first 10 weeks that you have your guinea fowl. You definitely want to get them when they're a keet or a baby guinea fowl. You keep them in a confined area that they cannot get out of, unlike us. They fortify on all four sides so that they cannot get out of it. And this will make them learn that this is their home, this is their safe place. And then after those 10 weeks, you can let out half of the pack. Hey, buddy. I have chickens all around my feet right now. You can let out half the pack for the day, let them free range, then come back in, let back another half, let that go, come back in, and kind of switch that on and off. Now what we did here was we actually had our guinea fowl in that separate section, then we moved them in with our chickens into our coop. We kept them locked up in this coop for probably like 6 weeks with the chickens, and our chickens are already trained to go in and out of the coop in the day and come back in at night. So the guinea fowl actually learned from our chickens, and we've been pretty successful so far. Fingers crossed we do not have any additional oopses. We also trimmed the guinea fowl's wingspan so they're not able to fly really high up over our fencing, and hopefully they stay contained in our area. But I know this is going to be a struggle for us moving forward because we've already had some issues with it, and they're really known to be hard to keep in containment. So that's definitely a con that you need to think about. Another con is going to be their loud noises. They have a deafening sound that they make. It's really loud. Males and females will have 2 different sounds usually, so you can tell them apart by their sound. That's kind of how you can sext them. Now, this call is to help protect them. It is one of their protecting calls, so they will screech out whenever they see something or someone coming towards them, which is great because they are going to protect your property, let all the other animals in your homestead know that maybe something's coming and to watch out for it. But it also can be really annoying, especially if you do have a backyard homestead and you have neighbors that might be able to hear it, because every time a person that they don't know, a car pulls up, the mailman comes, guests, family, anything of the likes, they are going to make that noise. So unless they really understand who you are, they might be making that loud, annoying noise pretty often, and it could be annoying for some of your neighbors. So definitely a con when you're starting to think about, what type of animals can I have at my homestead, and would this be a good option? Another con is that they're honestly not that smart. Now, we've kept chickens, and if you've kept chickens, you'll know that they're not always the brightest, but chickens know who humans are. They can learn, you can train them a bit. Guinea fowl are definitely not the brightest. Early on, some of our guinea fowl escaped, as I mentioned earlier, and our dog Mags was hurting them to come back into the coop. And one of them actually went back on its back like a turtle. It was just squalling around. The other just kept running into the wood in the fence. And that's when I noticed that guinea fowl are really not that smart in the head. I do think that if a predator came and tried to get one of them, it would be successful, because guinea fowl are not that smart. The only thing they really have going for them is that they can fly up pretty high and they have a noise that could scare someone. But in regards to just like brain power, I would say it's pretty low, and therefore I believe is another con to think about. And the last one here is that guinea fowl can be quite aggressive. Luckily, we haven't actually seen this at our homestead, but within researching guinea fowl, I did have this come up, and they're known similar to chickens. They look like little raptors or little dinosaurs. They have big talons that they could grab someone or hurt them, and they are known to peck each other. They're known to peck within their packs, so they'll to show dominance. Usually they won't hurt their own pack members, but they can do this to other animals. If you have small kids, they might not be that great. We luckily do not have any kids. They haven't been harmful to our dogs or any of our other chickens, but this is something, especially if you don't get guinea fowl when they are young, this is something that you might want to watch out for. In conclusion, guinea fowl are not for everyone. They are for the faint of heart. They are for the ones that like a struggle, because they're going to be a struggle. They've made us struggle already and question why we've gotten them at times. But we now have a leaner pack of guinea fowl, and they look pretty cool, honestly. They're still growing into their full look right now. They're still a bit young, but they're starting to get their speckly back color. They make some pretty cool noises, and I'm really, really excited about their ability to get rid of the ticks on our property. So I'm pretty hyped about them, but I think this video is going to tell you all about the pros and cons so that you can make a better educated decision on if you should be bringing them on to your homestead. That's it for today, and we'll see you guys again next time. Bye.